if I had to summarize my experience with Henry, is that he's cultivated this like look of hurriedness. You're like always flustered, except you are on top of everything in this way that I don't even know if you give yourself credit for that. But I just appreciate the juxtaposition of that with this energy of like, life is chaos, because it is chaos. But I really, anything else you want to know that I have to say about Henry, that was a sentence that makes sense. You're gonna have to read it in my memoir, which is going to be titled My Encounters with Famous Poets from the 2020s, and I know that there will be a section on Henry in there. Give it up, give it up, give it up. Henry Goldkamp.
Thank you, that was very flattering. Let's get this show on the road. All right, I'm going to read from my manuscript, Trash the Garden. That's it. Volition. Last words last, a millennia long. The water does the forgiving. No wonder it tastes like garbage. Stars shine down, certified pre-owned. First you invent the knife, then you invite the wine. Had the fig gone unplucked, it would have eaten itself. Noticing the moon, like noticing your couch in your own living room. It's called St. Thomas the Apostle. That's the doubting one. Black out when I donkeyed the door on the church on Hollywood Boulevard and demanded I be seen kneeling. Ahem, I say to him, time is liquid, this plastic pint painting my face whatever color it wants, like a sky. The priest texted me, we are never slaves to desire once we understand God is our master. Most religions end in a little S and a little M. But for now, high on these hills, the bite blasting its oceanic racket, we're good. Jubilant with discount miracles, in fact. Walking on a bag of vodka, traipsing the sand. It's all anyone could ask for. Bigger dreams, better knees. This poem is called Exegesis, which is a fancy term for interpreting a sacred text. I'm very proud of this poem because I've summarized a very, very famous book. You probably heard of it. It's called the Bible in a couplet, 2 lines.
Thank God.
Sounds like God is gonna get me! A drink, if I play my cards right.
Amen.
Okay, so slipping into something else now. This is a long poetic sequence that I kind of have to read because of yesterday was the anniversary of sort of the death of the hypotext. So 8 years ago, my pen pal and friend, Richard Masterson, was executed by the state of Texas. Just yesterday was the 8th year anniversary of this. And so over the course of dozens and dozens of letters, I sort of struggled with this, and he had asked me to write his life story. And so that is why I get this question sometimes, well, why did you think that it was okay to do this? Well, he wanted me to write his life story for him. But anytime he sat down to write it, he said it became too painful and he couldn't do it. So I had what I had after he was executed by the state of Texas, and so I created a sort of collaged erasure from those dozens of letters. So this is a mixing and matching of many things, although the first poem is sort of an erasure of a singular text. But so none of this was like a straight through, this is just sort of collage and erasure of those letters. And the sequence is called Hear the Garden. Hear the Garden. A sequence of collaged erasures of letters from Richard Masterson. Our 2-year correspondence ended once Richard was killed by the state of Texas on January 20th, 2016. Evidence suggests he is innocent. Oh, have you ever heard about the guy who was killing all the Katrina victims in Houston? Well, he was sent to death row and he won his appeal on his case and went back to county jail in Houston and was found dead in his cell a couple weeks ago. They say his shoestrings were around his neck, so for some reason he killed himself, but it sure seems odd because he was really happy about winning his appeal. He was a fucking piece of shit any fucking ways and he deserved to die, so I'm happy the world is a better place without trash like that in it. Well, man, enough about all this shit. So, keep me informed of the garden. Oh, Houston was death appeal. Houston was dead in weeks. Shoestring reason killed it because he was fucking ways and the world. Trash man of the garden. So, dead weeks, string, and trash the garden. Dude, I do not fear death. Everyone else pretty much abandoned me. No, I don't think I am happy, because I just think handcuffed. Drunks and Bible thumpers, everywhere we go, we have been both. His face is something in my mind all these years. It is like the Bible beat the living shit out of me. I love the rain, but not when I'm trying to walk around and see the sights. Have you thought about doing landscaping? There's good money in landscaping, big money. Start out with mowing, weed eating, and edging, and then you can do flowers. Fresh out, got you planting a garden. You're done. Make do. Life is for me. I got a B-Day card from my godmother. You cannot get more homey than that. A garden, dude. A garden. I am here on death row and I live it every day. Step back from the church, make a few thinks different. Tell them all it is a different place and no one would ever know the difference. The dogs run into the house. I would so love to live in a shack like that. An old house, a fixer-upper, a monster. I built houses when I was free. If I live today, mostly quiet. If a person can sing, if you get away from the city, if you've robbed any churches, if you've thought about this, if it is fiction or non-fiction, if I get a date that opens all the doors, if you are doing peppers and onions, if they say no, if you put a pretty label on a bottle, if this is all there is for me, then tomorrow will start. People who care about Stairway to Heaven are some home run hitting fools. The Sky is the worst radio station I've ever seen. Look at how a person acts under the stars. Wrong. People care, carry water from the creek, then take the beer out the bar and poison the dogs. I met my ex that way. You didn't mention if you look at how it is. You didn't mention if you can be truly happy or know something to cook. I am making a cake. Yes, a cake. Glad to hear the garden over the world fucking my brains out. Glad to hear the garden men have fecal matter in their beards. Glad to hear the garden never did like the Beatles, really. Glad to hear the garden unlock her panties. Glad to hear the garden had several dreams about it. Glad to hear the garden hate people that mistreat women. Glad to hear the garden beat his punk ass. Glad to hear Glad to hear the garden like road rash. Glad to hear the garden is a hard question. Glad to hear the garden make him like it. Glad to hear the garden can be worse than being awake. Glad to hear the garden would be interested in attending my funeral. Glad to hear the garden is doing good. Now my hope is that when it gets cold, she will be here soon, telling the stories about how she came up with the songs. Everyone has one. One night with crazy. Moments of calmness when it comes to death. She said she did rule in my favor. I was sure having fun because of just the concept of the whole thing. I was really cross-eyed. It was like a switch went on. Warm welcomes, happy homecomings, memorable moments. Wishing you a home full of joy this holiday season, like a goddamn bum going to school. I will tell you a wild story. We can stand at the door and talk to each other, because you really can tell if a person can sing when it is live. She don't even know how to drive. She can't outwork hell. Hell is also fine as hell. Is filled with good things. Did you fill up on the free? We always had a warm home. Piss just started running down my leg. I was close to the heater and it made me relax. I'm always sleepy as hell. That is for damn sure. Ha ha. The new year comes in shining. Request to say hell no. Hell to the no. In that time of 12 short months, I got chopped up at the end. Saw my body dead. Smoking hot, too. A wicked good song. Cried like I cried when my mom died. She will be here soon. She says, come here, pretty boy. I got something for you. Something needs to happen, and soon. That bird is just a seagull. So ugly he has to wear a bag over his head. And he pointed his finger at me. A real shitty day for my team when my mom died. They started trading off all the good players. They charge us $100 a year for medical. It makes people look bad as a whole. Maybe a small sea turtle in the foreground. The Fifth Circuit has my request. The cards are still in it. All of the hard rock I can get. Free the good and bad. Break up all the shit in my lungs. The garden, it has been draining. Nothing really changes here. We live like it is 1850. My friend Hannah sent me a picture of her tits for Xmas. I've looked at some boating magazines in the past. Bad news, buddy. Most wine tastes the same. My best guess? No one is as happy as you. I paint landscapes mostly. Sunset things change color like snow, purple and pink or whatever. A black bear like a turkey through a cornfield. Come out the woods all the time, yelling from all the animals. I am a person. I do not look beyond into the past. A house with a dirt floor. A big school bus filled with billions of stars. I paint landscapes mostly, but have done a few other things, and we lived in that as well. So, do some debuts here. This is that's the end of that sequence, and then I got a little bit of time watching myself here. So I got 3 more, and I don't think I've read these out loud. Maybe this first one, but I've not read the final 2 out loud, and so we'll just go for that. Give the people what they want. All right, this one's called The Gulf. It starts with the epigraph by Mallarmé. Rodrigo. Chide me later. One surges over the chief. A shell of a television set bobbing atop the food chain. Elvis's blue Hawaii. The kitchen sink. Nothing holy lives on rainwater only. We're all saints. Soft and complimentary. Crucifixes in a basket at the sacristy. Cellophane. Peppermint lifesavers for our salty mouths. Eating sailor ass. Microplastics. The scientific jargon for glitter. Static. soil, oil. The sturgeon's trembling fin, subcontractor. Covenant, the people versus you-know-who. A loophole, the ozone. Secret of life, couldn't give itself away if it tried. A wet paper bag, the moon. I was lucky enough to visit once. I didn't want to leave. No. One suffers. Two more. These are kind of companion pieces, so I'm excited to do this. This is called the concrete poetics we can't afford right now. Eco-poetics in green silly string against a blue tarp. Eco-poetics in fire extinguisher cursive through a 5th floor walk-up. Eco-poetics in ortho ground clear concentrated top of wildflower meadow. Eco-poetics, a grease leak seeping through a towel. Eco-poetics in an arm via a stick and poke tattoo. Eco-poetics in plastic kids' toys on the carpet smelling of dog urine. Eco-poetics in a shelved display of custom-named koozies. Eduardo, Cynthia, Olivia, Peter, Olivia, Eduardo, you get it. Eco-poetics in a Dasani bottle left over from the 2020 conference. Eco-poetics in Bargain Buster cigarettes, a mixture of fresh and butts. Eco-poetics in freehand TIG welding on a 12-gauge scrap. Eco-poetics in freehand MIG welding in Samsung refrigerator door. Eco-poetics in freehand small welding in a Southwest 747 jet. Eco-poetics dragged by a banner pilot via an airplane rental over hundreds of thousands attending the festival for $650 an hour. All right, this is the last one. Thank you guys so much for the boost, and you really are flattering, and this is a great crowd, and I know most everyone here and love all of you, so thanks for being here all the time. I really do appreciate y'all, like obviously. Big hugs, big hugs. So his poem is called The Physical Meta Part of That Last One. Eco-poetics rub my hands together. Eco-poetics rub my shoes into the floor. Eco-poetics grip my teeth real mean. Eco-poetics get real. Eco-poetics in the kennel. Eco-poetics piss itself. Eco-poetics sit. Eco-poetics stay. Eco-poetics play. Eco-poetics dead. Eco-poetics like Joel McSweeney dead though. Eco-poetics okay. Eco-poetics always was. Eco-poetics always will be. Eco-poetics never better. Eco-poetics found life in death. Eco-poetics is gnarled, sad kind of wooden savior. Eco-poetics sometimes. Eco-poetics sometimes not. Eco-poetics a fine oak Chardonnay. Eco-poetics whatever you want. Eco-poetics whatever you need. Eco-poetics here to serve you. Eco-poetics yeah. Eco-poetics serve you straight to the dogs of hell. Eco-poetics bubbling with your blood. Eco-poetics gargling your soul. Eco-poetics down. Eco-poetics down. Eco-poetics. Eco-poetics bad. Eco-poetics. Eco-poetics better in the future. Evo-poetics promise. Evo-poetics swear to God. Evo-poetics Yahweh. Evo-poetics hear us. Evo-poetics cut it out. Evo-poetics hears our hearts. Evo-poetics being suffocated by breath. Evo-poetics a most rancid fate. Evo-poetics beheld by all. Evo-poetics a tight knot. Evo-poetics inside. Evo-poetics tied it. Evo-poetics over. Evo-poetics out.